This is the 11th and 12th graders quadrilateral and polygons review for your test. Started off naming the shapes, all the polygons, not just these right here, but all the polygons 3 through 10 sides. You have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3 is triangle, 4 is quadrilateral, 5 is pentagon, 6 is hexagon. These are all listed on your notes. 7 is heptagon, 8 is octagon, 9 is nonagon, and 10 is decagon. And there were others, but that's as far as I'm going to make you learn for this test. So on the ones on the paper right here, are the shapes at the right regular? Regular means that all the sides match and all the angles are matching. So angles congruent, sides congruent. So obviously right here, not all the sides are matching because you got a long piece and a short piece, but also it cannot be concave for that. So this is not regular. Okay, even this nice perfect triangle, are all the sides and angles matching? This is a right angle, looks like. That is not matching a right angle, so no, that is not regular. The rectangle, do all the sides match? No. All right, so it's not that. But a square is, yes, this is regular. All right, so square or perfect looking hexagon, things like that. Parallelogram, regular, no. Okay. Rhombus, regular, kind of that diamond shape, no, because even though the sides match, look at that, that's an obtuse angle and that's an acute angle, so those do not match. Only the square. The ones on your notes in that black box, those are the ones that are perfectly regular. Are they convex or concave? Concave is the one that kind of has a piece that's caved in, poked in. That would be this one right here. It's concave, all right? And the rest of these are convex. None of the corners are pointing inward. This is concave right here. It's kind of caved in point. All right, and so on the next drawing, you're finding angle B and angle C. C needs to happen first. I'm going to kind of blow up C over here to the side. Angle C is right here, and you've got 140 on the outside, but the angle C I want you to find is on the inside. That's the rest of a circle coming on around. You see how the 140 is about like that? So I need to say full circle, that makes 360. Take off the 140, that leaves me 220 for that piece. So right there would be 220 for angle C. And I'm going to use that answer to figure out angle B. So now I need to count. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. That's a quadrilateral. Anything with 4 sides has a total of 360. I've got a 20. I've got a 50. And I'm going to subtract that 220 because that's on the inside too. 1, 2, 3 angles. Only one of them's missing. Angle B is the only one missing. So I can just subtract the others and end up with 70. So angle B is 70. All right, referring to a parallelogram, find some missing sides and missing angles. Well, on a parallelogram, the opposite sides match. So this will be 10 and this will be 12. So how long is PS? PS is 10 and RS is 12. Angle P is going to match angle R up here, kind of got cut off, and Q is going to match S. So, well, I had a Q, but it should be S. I think it's S on your paper. So, the opposite angles match, 120, 120. Now, these are opposite, but we don't know what they are yet. But we can remember that on a parallelogram, and all the children of the parallelogram, the side-by-side angles, Q and P are side-by-side, they're going to be supplementary and make 180. So if I need 180 and I got 120, that leaves me 60. So now these two add up to be 180. So P is 60 degrees and S was 120. All right, another parallelogram. Oh, I left off my lines on this one. To go back, put those in. Yours has the lines already. You've got the diagonals going through. Notice right here how much this first question is talking about. How long is piece AE? That's this piece right here. If I give you the whole thing, AC, this whole thing from A to C is 10. Well, the diagonals, these little lines that we're talking about, cut each other in half. So if I got 10, I'll have 5 for this piece and 5 for this piece. So AE is 5 inches. So that's a length. All right, and then we'll start looking at our angles. We'll take these 5s off of here. Our angles, the opposite angles still match, but remember, if they're split with a diagonal like these are, it's going to flip. The alternate interiors match. 30 will go up here and 50 will go down here. Okay, that's 30. And then the same thing we did a little while ago with the side by sides. These two groups have to make 180. How much have I got so far? I got a 30, I got a 50, and up in this other group I got a 40. What's left over? 60 degrees. So angle Y, which would be right here, would be 60. X was right there for 50, and the Y was right here for 60. Easy, easy problem. Just remember about the side by sides. Opposites match, so I would have 60 here and 40 here. And you could check if you wanted to make some of your triangles. That's a little extra work, but you know, you have to get the ones in the middle. All right. Then it's a question about the family tree. So it helps to remember what your tree is. It starts with quadrilaterals, then the trapezoids, then that came down to the parallelogram. Parallelogram had the two children, rectangle, rhombus, and then they got together and had square. The kite was over here to the side on quadrilaterals. So the kite doesn't have anything to do with any of these others. This would be never a relationship except for the quadrilateral. When you're looking down the family tree, that's like great-granddaddy looking down at his children. That is sometimes, because sometimes he's looking at this child, sometimes he's looking at this child. All right, so sometimes when you're going down the family tree, but when you're at the bottom looking up, are they always your family? Yeah, you can't get rid of them. They're in your DNA. Always is going up. So here's my two questions. A rectangle is blank a square. So rectangle to square, that's going down, so that'll be a sometimes. And then rhombus to a parallelogram, that's going up, so it'll be an always. Okay? If I try to compare parallelogram to kite, that'd be never. If I said square to a kite, never. Trapezoid to a kite, never. Kite to any of these, never. But if I said a quadrilateral to a kite, that would be sometimes. That's going down, and he's looking down at one of his children. Could be looking at some of these children, but he's looking at this one this time. Sometimes it's him. Kite is always a quadrilateral. Think about it. What does it mean? It means it's got 4 sides. Yes, kite always has 4 sides. All of these always have the same features as you go up. All right, next. What is the interior angle of the sum of an octagon? So that's your formula. The number of sides, n, minus 2. That has to happen first. You got to subtract 2. And then times 180. So it's an octagon. What's the number of sides? 8. Then I have to minus 2. And then I got to say times 180. And that's going to give me 1,080 degrees. For number 13. The sum, interior angle sum. That's how you find the inside angles. Okay, now we got a rectangle. Rectangle has a lot of the same features as a parallelogram, but it also has, main thing, right angles in the corner. So if I got 30 right here, I know this is going to be 60 right here next to it. All right, and then opposites match, 30, 60. I think on your thing, I think I switched it up on yours. Let me change it back. I think I put the 60 here, so we'll change it up. 60 here. All right, so 60 and 30 make 90. 90 minus 60 gave me 30. And so then, yeah, I'm looking at my notes. I've done them wrong. 30 here and 60. They flip, they match, but they flip when they come up to this other corner, alternate interior. Then you're going to need to remember about that little diagonal rule. On a rectangle, the diagonals will match all four pieces, that, and that. And what that does is that makes triangles that are isosceles. When I look at this triangle, I see two legs matching. So that means if I got 30 down there at the bottom, that's a base angle. 30 is going to match, get back to the right color, 30. And so that'll be 60 right here next to it. And then over here, flip 30 and 60. That's your X and your Z and your Y right there. So look at each one of the triangles, 60 and 60, 30 and 30, 60 and 60. That happens with rectangles. That happens with squares because it passes its features down to the squares. You'll have the matching angles in those triangles like that. All right, and then finally Z is in the middle. Mine doesn't have a Z on it, but we know it's right there in the middle. Not Z, I'm sorry, X. X is right here. We already got the Z. And so to find X, just take about that top triangle. You've got 30 and 30. What's a triangle supposed to add up to be? 180 minus 30 minus 30 leaves you 120 for angle X. So 120, angle Y is 60, and angle Z is 30. All right, the properties of rhombi, or rhombi, however you want to say it. The rhombus, it has all congruent sides. Okay, we're talking about that diamond shape kind of figure. All the sides match like a square, but it doesn't have right angles in the corner. All right. Opposite angles congruent, just like on a parallelogram, the opposite angles are going to match. When you draw your diagonals, you're going to end up with perpendicular right here in the middle, 90 degrees. So perpendicular diagonals. Right angles in the middle. And when you have those diagonals, they bisect the corner angles. This angle will match the one right next to it. Rectangle and parallelogram didn't have that. They didn't match. We had to flip them, remember? So now it's matching. Okay, so diagonals bisect corner angles. Okay, that's the main stuff you need to know. It'll be just like one question. I won't make you list them all. You just need to know them and be able to pick out maybe one that's not true. Hint, hint. Okay, so pick out one that would be not true. All right. Find angle ABD in the square. So to focus on ABD, follow the letters ABD. Now, if I had them in a different order, might be something different, ABD, but that's just that little corner right there. If this is a square, that's all you need to know. Squares only do a couple of things. They have big right angles in the corner, and then just like a rhombus, see, rhombus was one of the parents, it splits that corner in half. So each corner is 45 degrees, and so it'll be 45 in every single corner. 45, 45, can't get them all in there, 45, every single corner, except the middle. The middle's like the rhombus, right angle, right angle, right angle. But these little corners that get split are going to be 45 each. All right, 19 doesn't have a drawing. A regular pentagon has what size exterior angle? Now that's the key. It's exterior. It doesn't matter what it is. There's no formula. It's always 360 if it's on the exterior. Regular means equal pieces. Pentagon, how many pieces? 5. So 5 equal pieces. This 360 is being split into 5 equal pieces. That means divided. When you divide that out, you get 72 degrees. Alright, trapezoid. No picture, but you can draw one. Has bases measuring 5 and 13. So we got a trapezoid, 5 and 13 are the two bases. What's the median? That's supposed to be in the middle right there. That formula is you take the two bases, base plus base divided by 2. So that'll be 5 plus 13 divided by 2. And that gives you 9 when you work it out. Make sure you do the top part first. Don't put all that in the calculator in one shot. 5 plus 13, that's 18 over 2, 9. Alright, and finally we have our other trapezoid. Oh no, we got number 21. Is a rectangle regular? One more question about regular. No. Parallelogram? No. Square? Yes. Trapezoid? No. All equal sides, all equal angles, that's only the square. And then you've got other quadrilaterals, but that doesn't mean that they're regular. Okay, even if they're nice and neat like this one, still not equal angles all the way around. Alright, so we got this trapezoid, and we see on the sides 16, and hey, that makes 16. So this is isosceles. That means it's like a mirror image. Everything here is going to match everything over here. So that's great. Z will match the 100. Okay, easy enough. But the 100 does not match the X. It does not flip up that way like that. What it does is the same thing that parallelogram and the other pieces do. If they're sharing that leg from this corner to this corner, it's going to make 180. So W up here will be 80. 180 minus 100 gives me 80. And so now X matches 80, because that's that isosceles trapezoid piece matching across there. And then Y is at the median, and that's kind of the same thing. It's still like a little trapezoid down here. So this little leg will also make 180 on those two pieces. So you could just put it there. Those would be corresponding to each other if you thought about the parallels. And that's your test. Look back over it a couple times. Go real slow through the parts you don't know. And good luck. Thanks for watching.